Hi, my name is Riley Allen. This is my review of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, the 2001 movie. So I've done a chapter-by-chapter review of the entire first book, so I won't really do too many details about the review. But the premise is basically the exact same as the book, where we have our main character, Harry Potter. His parents are killed when he was a baby. He's living with his aunt and uncle who don't have magic, but he has magic. He's brought to basically Hogwarts, and he meets Ron, Hermione, Neville, Snape, Hagrid, all these people. And he plays Quidditch, which is a wizarding sport. He goes on he goes on this adventure, basically, trying to figure out about the Philosopher's Stone, the Sorcerer's Stone. And basically stop it from getting stolen, in which they succeed at the end, preventing it from being stolen by Quirrell, who's the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, and Voldemort. So that's just like the basic preview. I'm not really going to talk about the plot, because the plot is the exact same as the books, just with scenes maybe taken out and scenes thrown here instead of there, and scenes getting a snip or two. I'm going to talk about this. First, the casting. Due to this, I really can never not see Maggie Smith as Minerva McGonagall. When I read the books, I think of her. When I read the books, I think of Robbie Coltrane as Hagrid. I think those are the two best casted. Also, Richard Harris. He was wonderful in this film. He was the right amount of commanding when he told everyone to silence when they were panicking about the troll. He had the nice kind of like serene presence to him that I always thought that Dumbledore would have. Like, he was just like, he's calm until he's not, and then he's not, basically, you know. The trio are all pretty decent. I think Daniel Radcliffe is pretty good in this movie. Same with Rupert Grint. I think Rupert Grint's the best of the three, though, in this movie. Scenes that I don't like. I don't like that Neville was taken out of the Forest and given to Ron, and I also don't like the build-up. I understand time constraints, but I just kind of feel like they cut off a good chunk of, like, the dragon portion, which I think is fair, but, you know, which I think is fair. I just don't like that Neville wasn't also sent in the Forest, because I feel like this could have been a good little way to show character development for Neville, basically. Like, yeah, he did this. Like, this was him in season 1, or movie 1, and this is him in movie 7, or 8, I guess, because they made it 8. But I also understand why they made it Ron. Another thing, I don't like that they took out Snape's challenge. They said that Snape helped guard the stone, but we don't see what he guarded. And it takes away something from Hermione, basically, you know, because that was her moment. That was her trap in the books. Of course, they ended up giving the Devil's Snare to her, basically her not freaking out, being calm, cool, collected, while the boys, and especially Ron, were freaking out, which was not the case in the books. Hermione was freaking out, and Ron was basically like, "Are you a witch or not?" But she still managed to save him, and I feel like that was a lot better in the books. Like, she was freaking out, but she still saved them. Like, I don't understand why they changed that particular scene to make Ron seem even more less, basically. Of course, he got a redeeming moment by getting the chess moment, so yeah, there's that. But, you know, Also, I think they took out Snape's line in his opening class where he basically, like, goes on a pretty decent speech and ends it with, if you're not as much dunderheads as I usually have to teach. I think they took that last part out. I could be wrong, though. I could have just not heard it. Scenes that I wish they would have put in, or like, yeah, I wish they would have put that, potions quiz thing for Hermione, because that'd have been Hermione's moment during this. I also kind of wish we'd got more of Neville. They cut out a pretty decent amount of Neville scenes. Also, I think they exaggerated, Neville's fall in Quidditch, because, or not Quidditch, flying practice. I always pictured it as a book where he just rose up a little bit higher than he was supposed to, and then he fell. But this, he went on a whole adventure on it. Like, he was flying this, there, he got caught on this, he got caught on that, and then he fell. And he did, and I do not believe it when Hooch says, sprained your arm or something like that. No, he broke his ribs. He broke his legs. He's not going to be okay. He's paralyzed. He's like snapped his neck. He did, no. Overall, I found, another thing I didn't like was that the sorting song was not used. I liked it in the book. I thought it was nice and whimsical. Or the, yeah, so that wasn't used. And also, I feel like it'd have been fine. They had the sorting hat, talk outwardly instead of inwardly. I kind of feel like it'd have been better if, it would have been done like a voiceover. Like, it'd have been showing the hat and hearing the hat's voice, but it not talking, which it'd just been like a voiceover, so like in the book, it only appears in the children's head, I think. Or it's so quiet that only the children who's getting sorted here. Anyway. Overall, I think this is pretty accurate to the books. I don't think there was too much change. Like, dimensions, what was changed, I think the biggest change was just, Peeves not being in it, which I think is fine. He had his funny moments, but, I understand why they cut him. It's not as if he was important to the story. He's fun in the story, but he's not important to the story. So I understand why they cut that and some other scenes. This movie had this whimsical feel to it. I don't know how to explain it, but it had this whimsical feel that I basically felt while reading the book. I felt virtually the same reading this and the book. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. Leave a like, a comment, subscribe if you want. Thanks for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.